If you're thinking about starting a car rental business, most people are doing it completely wrong, especially when it comes to the insurance. And it's costing them hundreds, if not thousands of dollars in wasted time, effort, and energy. I'm going to show you exactly the right way, even if you don't have a lot of money. I currently run a car rental business with multiple vehicles, both private and on platforms like Turo. So this isn't a theory or something that I got off of YouTube University. These are real life tactics that I'm actually currently using for my own personal business. We're gonna make this simple and we're gonna break this down into 5 easy steps. Step 1, business setup. Step 2, getting your car. Step 3, insurance. Step 4, where to get customers. And step 5, scaling the right way. So in setting up your business, it's very important to do this correctly out the gate. And in the simplest form, set up an LLC, because your telephone number, your business bank account, the vehicles, everything is gonna go in the name of your LLC. Do not put any of this stuff in your personal name whatsoever. Key points are setting up the LLC. You can go to a third-party company. There's a bunch of them that you can Google online, or you can go straight to your state website and set up your LLC. Second is opening up a business bank account that is local to you. Next, you're gonna wanna go and get you an EIN from the IRS website. Fourth is setting you up a business telephone number. This is important because this is what you're gonna use for your Google My Business, for your bank, and for your professional correspondence with individuals. I have my actual referral link in the description for you to use. I actually use Quora. They're great and they sync with a bunch of AI tools. Make sure you set all this up correctly the first day so that you don't have to come back and do it. This is the foundation for your business and everything that you're gonna be doing moving forward. I'm gonna break this down into 3 categories for you. Strategy 1 is cash cars. I think this strategy is best for beginners. Ideally, you want to get you a vehicle that's anywhere from about $3,000 to $8,000. For me, I go as high as about $10,000 for cars. Unless you're open to putting money into the vehicle to get it up to par. Most people, I say, spend a little bit more money, get you a vehicle that's road ready. That way you're able to get that vehicle on the road just that much faster. I would stay away from luxury cars. Economy cars is the W. Economy cars are the win. They're simple to work on. You're going to be able to easily rent them out to individuals, and the maintenance schedules and the maintenance intervals are a little bit longer than luxury cars, as well as the parts being cheaper to maintain and keep the vehicle on the road. Strategy 2 is financing. So you see a lot of these people that'll go on YouTube and talk about getting 30 cars in 30 days. It's foolishness. Stay away from that. Ideally, you really don't want to finance these vehicles because now you're making a payment on them every month on top of insurance and other associated costs with maintaining your rental car fleet. But if you have to finance the vehicles, I would finance them using a 0% interest credit card or some type of funding such as a line of credit with your credit union or whatever financial institution. Even if you use your HELOC or your home, a home equity line of credit, I would even do that before actually going out to a dealership and getting a retail loan. Usually your retail loans are going to be a little bit more expensive and they're really not in your benefit. And if you were to use a HELOC on the home that you live in, I definitely wouldn't go out and get a $30,000, $40,000 line of credit or loan on your home. I'd do something under $10,000 that's reasonable, that's not going to put a lot of pressure on you or your ecosystem. Strategy 3 is partnering. We all know some individual or friend or family member, or maybe even a car lot that has vehicles that are sitting up collecting dust. Me, I would go out and speak with those people. I would have a thorough plan, something written out on a paper so that they can understand how you're going to pay them back, how you're going to have insurance on the vehicle, how their asset is protected. If you can articulate with strong conviction that you have a business plan that's going to work, there's a high propensity and a high chance that that individual will want to partner up with you, if not reinvest in you in the future. So definitely go maybe look at some used car dealerships, go speak with a friend, family member, someone who has a second or third car that's sitting up, not making the money. What I've found to be the detriment to most individuals that get into this industry is they go out and they buy their wrong first car, or they go out and they finance too much of a car. They go out looking for a car that they would want or that they would drive, and that's not necessarily what their market would demand or want to see. So make sure you with precision go out and purchase a vehicle that your market will want to drive in, not something that you would necessarily want for yourself. So you have personal insurance and you have rental insurance. I have a video actually that I'm going to post somewhere here or here or here. And it goes into depth about the different types of ways you can insure your vehicle for your renters. But in essence, you have personal insurance, and you have rental insurance. With your rental insurance, you'll be able to add about 2 to 3 cars under your personal name. I really don't suggest having more vehicles than that on your personal insurance. And that's just for you to get the vehicle on the road. Your rental insurance is what's going to actually cover the vehicle when it's out on rentals with a client. So your rental insurance could be a third party like a Lines, Bonza, or rental cover. Following those other 2 insurances, you have commercial insurance or platform insurance. Platform insurance would be the insurance that's provided to your renters, such as Lyft or Turo or Uber Eats. Those platforms have insurance, but in addition to those platforms having insurance, you still need to have insurance on your vehicle. And that leads us back to commercial insurance. So commercial insurance is a little different, and I don't want to go in depth for that. But essentially with the commercial insurance, you need to have X amount of vehicles. You're going to need at least 5 to 10 vehicles for you to have commercial insurance. And that covers your vehicles in totality. If they're on a rental, if they're not on a rental, if there's hail, if there's a storm, if there's whatever the case may be, if your cars are financed, not financed. So I have commercial insurance on all of my vehicles because it just makes sense for the way that I operate my business. Here's the caveat with having your vehicle on Turo. So the individuals on Turo, they can opt out to get insurance. Now, you would still be protected by the insurance plan that you have with Turo. Depending on which plan you choose though, your deductible can be anywhere from $600 to $2,000. The plan that I'm on, I believe I'm on the 80 or 90 plan. So my insurance deductible on the platform is $1,500. So when an individual scratches up your rims or puts any minor scratches or dings on the vehicle, more than likely it's not going to be covered on the platform. So that's something you have to be okay with, and everyone can choose the different insurance plan that they want. But for me, I want to take home more of the money when I do have my vehicles on Turo. So for me, like I said, a good balance for us is the $1,500 deductible plan. Your question is where am I going to get these customers from? I've got my insurance, I've got my vehicle, I've got my LLC. How do I get my cars rented out? Well, there's a few ways. You can try Turo. Turo works, it's okay. Don't use Turo as a long-term plan. In my opinion, I would try and snipe people off of Turo, pull people off of Turo if you can. Just be careful with that because they do have secret shoppers on there as well, and they're watching messages on their platform. But Turo's a route. If you didn't want to do platforms, you can then go to social medias. So posting on Facebook Marketplace, Instagram, TikTok, that's how you're going to garner and find individuals to rent out your vehicles. Something else to think about is setting up your website. Once you have your website set up, once you have your Google My Business set up, then you can start pushing for search engine optimization where individuals are actually finding you, they're calling your number, and you're booking direct. By you booking direct, the margins are much higher versus using a platform like Turo where they're taking anywhere from 20 to 40% of your money. So be sure to have a plan to go private. That's really where the money's at. That's really where the control is. Like, you're in charge of the game. You control the game once you start doing private rentals. Now, here's the caveat with going private rental. You are responsible for everything. You're responsible for any accidents, deductibles, contract disagreements, accidents, you picking up the vehicle in the middle of the night, or you picking up the vehicle if it's in another state. Ideally, when you're going private, you want to have a marketing stack, and that marketing stack is going to consist of Google, Facebook Marketplace, and social medias, and direct bookings. Now, those direct bookings, you're going to need a rental management software. There's no particular one I suggest. I use RentCentric. It works for me. They're one of the big dogs in the industry. Besides them, you have like TDS, that's another big dog out there. And the reason I like them is they have over 20 years of experience in the industry. And when I have issues, when I have problems, I can lean on my vendor. You're only going to be as good as your suppliers. And so if you have horrible supply chain as far as your GPS trackers and your kill switches and your insurance, then it's going to be hard for you to ask them questions if they've only been around for a few years. So platforms, that's going to be your cash flow. Private rentals are really going to be where your profits are made. My first year in being in the rental car industry, I scaled too fast and I ran into a lot of issues where double booking vehicles, some vehicles didn't have maintenance up to par. Some vehicles were purchased that had bad transmissions at auction. And I didn't have all my systems in place in the very beginning because I had the ability to go out and purchase a bunch of cars. Even though I had the ability to purchase a bunch of vehicles, I didn't have all my systems in place to manage all those vehicles at the time. And so it ended up costing me thousands of dollars in mistakes. But those lessons were learned, and I appreciate those lessons because they've made me that much better now, and it makes it that much easier for us to operate. So I would say don't scale too fast. You know, you'll hear other people in your car groups or online that they have 30 cars, 40 cars, 50 cars, 100 cars for it. None of that matters. Stay in your lane, run your race, build your systems first. Don't scale too fast, build the systems first. Trust me, once you've built the systems and you've built up the demand, the vehicles are gonna be the easy part because now you're gonna have the capital and the cash to go out and purchase those vehicles with precision correctly. Next thing, track. You want to track everything. You want to track your utilization rate. You want to track your maintenance costs. You want to track your return on investment per vehicle. You don't want any leakage coming out. Try and keep your subscriptions to the bare minimum and only get exactly what you need. But don't operate at such a minimum to where you're exhausting yourself because you're doing contracts with pen and paper and you're trying to be cheap and you don't want to get a rental management software. Be wise and proficient at what you're doing. I will leave you with this. A lot of people, from what I've noticed, have scaled themselves into failure. They take on too many staff, they take on too many vehicles, they take on too many partnerships, and now they're really working for the loan company and their partners and everyone else. They have a lot of vehicles, but they're not taking a lot of profit. And you'll know this because you'll see a lot of people on these Facebook groups, on YouTube, on wherever, in these private groups, and they'll talk about how much money they make and how much money they brought in for the month. But you never see them post their expenses. And there's a reason for that, because their head is underwater. They're making money, they're generating a bunch of revenue, but they're not actually taking any money home. So do not scale too fast. If you're serious about starting your own rental car business, I also do one-on-one consulting where I hold your hand and I walk you through every single process step by step. I help you with the entity setup. I help you with getting vehicles, financing vehicles, because I've been in the industry. I understand which vendors to go to for insurance, which vendors to go to for financing, how to get your vehicles, what to look for when you buy vehicles, and the biggest piece, the marketing piece, to get your vehicles out there and rented on the road and you making money within a week of you purchasing your vehicle. If you got value from this video, make sure you subscribe to Pit Stop to Profits. Appreciate you guys. Stay renting. Peace.